I see a lot of synergy between like corporate companies and the pressure and football, because that's a high level, high pressure environment. And what can happen when you have these things which don't maybe impact your level of comfort. So your earning potential can be high, but the pressure that comes along with it means that you might work more than you need to work. You might put your family to one side. I've got to hit that deadline. Sometimes because you have the money, the status and the power, you may misuse that because of ego. And sometimes you're not aligning with what you truly believe. So you may say, I want to have, a healthy lifestyle. I want to have the family kind of dynamics that maybe keep me secure. And then you do the opposite because your ego gets in the way. In a corporate environment, if you don't have somebody to kind of help you to kind of course correct, or at least say, have you looked at this? If you want this type of lifestyle, are you actually doing these things? Are there contradictions and, inconsistencies in what it is that you're doing? Now, if they are presenting themselves, why are they there? And can you rearrange how you think about that so that you get what you actually want without too much disruption? Because you can still lose those things, especially when other people are involved. So if you're in relationships, whether that's friendships, whether that's, let's say if it's in corporate, it could be management, it could be your team underneath you, because you still want to be respected. Now, if you're consistently stressed out and you then treat people incorrectly, then your team don't respect you because they don't like the way you're treating them. So one is, can we keep ourselves out of that mindset where we're overly stressed? Naturally, things will happen because there's pressure, but how do you manage that pressure? And that's what, when you look at it, some people capitulate and some people thrive. Because a lot of people say my family is important. How many of us spend time in that way? Because it's investment of time.
And it's not always by choice, is it? It might be that you get too hung up on the big target that suddenly means you're working every hour, and suddenly that means that's gone. And I think it's not just how you handle it, it's how you react to it, isn't it, is the big one. And I think deep down, if we're not managing it or reacting to it the right way, internally we know something's off.
It's foundational. You're spending most of your time as a parent creating foundations so that your children can then live independently without you. But as they transition, you also have to go, I have to give them enough rope. Because if I keep holding them close to me, it doesn't help them grow.
But they're not a child anymore, and they're going to rebel even more.
And so what I'm learning now that my children are, well, my daughter's 18 and my son is 21, is that we've given them the space to have a voice, but that also means that voice talks back at you and you're like, okay. So what you try and then have is, okay, as long as you tell me what I'm doing wrong respectfully, then I don't mind. But you have to find that kind of middle ground, because it will start off a bit disrespectful because they're trying to express something to you. And then for me, I have to go, okay, what are they trying to express? I'm a nut, right? And then we may have some friction for a little while, but then the inconsistency is, I want to be a good dad. Right. And then my daughter might say to me, or my son might say to me, or not say to me, but they might have in their mind, they want to be a good son or daughter. So if we're not doing that because we have that friction that's now pulling us apart, we then need to reflect, reframe, take ownership. And then when the next time comes, okay, let's practice this new thing and not revert back to the old. But what I have found is working with the young people that I work with, and sometimes being told what they can and can't do. If you just take away the judgment, and then you just say, well, you're valuable, and let's see where we go with this journey. They will take it on because they trust what you're saying to them. And trust allows for doors to be unlocked or challenge to be kind of given to someone. And they go, okay, I know you're challenging me, but I also know you care about me. So therefore I can take it. So one of the biggest things for me was in football, it's quite a harsh environment. Now, if we build trust as a team, you can critique my performance on the pitch, talk to me how you want, because I know I trust you. But if I don't trust you off the field in training, and I think there's something different about it, you're just trying to make me look bad while looking good yourself because you're sounding loud. I don't trust you, which means then I'm reserved, and also being sometimes aggressive. I will challenge how you challenge me, which is don't talk to me like that because I don't trust you. And if I don't trust you, there's a limit. There's a limit to what I will allow you to do because I don't know your intention. And so all of that encompasses how you help people. You have to build a level of trust. And so part of it is credibility. And then the other is investment of time. You know, if someone doesn't have to spend time, but they do, you value that. You go, okay, they didn't have to, but they did.
Yeah.
For me, having the experience of a footballer, which is something that a lot of young boys and now young girls want to do more and more, how you manage your life whilst you're dealing with this status and this, you know, this position you have makes a difference to those around you. You know, and I believe the more power status you have, the more responsible you should be, because you have power to change people who are in lesser positions than yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, rather than use it just for your own personal gain. Most people around me are imperfect, and that's okay, but can we limit damage? Can we try and be the best versions of ourselves for those around us? Be sacrificial. Show people that they're worth something by giving them your time rather than lording over them. You know, and so for me, I will prefer to make myself smaller around people than to dominate.
Yes.
Right. But at some point, you have to be willing to step up and say what you need to say. And I believe that has power in it as well, not always being someone that speaks too much and having something to say all of the time. Sometimes it's good to reserve yourself and then have an opinion, because sometimes that has power. Other times you do need to take the bull by the horns, because there may be people that need to be led. But ultimately, analyze it and see what you need to do.